Oh, Big Daddy Roman is not happy. Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, host Jan. I hope you're all doing well today. Really hope that. Namaste, my sweet, loving Chelsea, and just generally football fandom friends. Check out this Chelsea training top. It's very nice, isn't it? Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series where I reflect on what's being said in the headlines around the Blues, giving you my opinion on it, but more importantly, asking for yours. Today I'm talking about Roman Abramovich reportedly being, quote, furious with Chelsea as a club for making the incorrect decision or the poorly informed decision of joining the Super League, and how perhaps he feels he wrongly trusted the people who run his club. We're going to get into that today. Make sure you do subscribe to this channel. If you're new, hit the all-important bell notifications icon to be the first to keep updated with Chelsea news. If you want to support me and show that you're enjoying the content, drop a like on this video. And we're reaching the end game now of this season, my friends. Everything's coming together. There's so much news, and you can keep up to date with the OneFootball app. That's right, OneFootball is superb and completely free. So this is not a sales pitch. This is just me telling you to go and get something excellent that doesn't cost anything at all. OneFootball keeps you plugged into news, up to date every minute, statistics, fixtures, live scores, match alerts, everything you ever need. So click the link down in the description now to go and have a ganders at OneFootball as we get into today's big story. Right, so Chelsea's owner, the Russian oligarch Roman Abramovich, only so recently proudly being touted by Chelsea fans as the best owner in football, not scared to put as much of his own money into the club as we need to either keep us afloat or indeed spend loads in the transfer window, because for him, the priority for Chelsea is winning trophies, not making a financial return. He doesn't need it. He's super rich, and he didn't come to Chelsea looking to create a sports franchise Super League like perhaps some American owners have always intended. Not Roman Abramovich. He wanted to win trophies, he wanted to buy a football club, he's a big football fan, and of course there's a more cynical perspective of reputation and sports washing, which I like to think hopefully isn't the case as a Chelsea fan. But the truth is, if you look at what's happened recently, Abramovich has done so much good for the UK community, the government. He's helped out so much throughout the pandemic in terms of helping NHS staff, opening his hotel for NHS staff, helping community groups. I think there's a lot of stuff with feeding less privileged people and stuff like that. So much positive work, loads of work for anti-discrimination, you know, no to racism, loads of anti-Semitism work, campaigns, assertiveness, really being proud of his club, Chelsea Football Club, and using it as a platform to do essentially good, because he wants to do good, but also he wants to improve his reputation, much like the Man City owners. And you know, I'm a Chelsea fan and I do believe he genuinely wants to do good. Of course, he is a Jewish man, so he wants to do all this anti-Semitism stuff. But also, he probably wants his visa, he wants to be sorted, he wants to come back, so he wants to do good for the UK to improve his reputation and settle things, basically. So understandably, when this big, silly, happy, fun league threatened to ruin football for loads of aforementioned reasons here on Football Therapy, which I'm not going to bore you with today, go back and watch previous videos for an explanation, a detailed explanation on why it would have been a terrible idea. Obviously, there's been huge global fallout, and the reputation of the Big Six owners has gone down the stinker. Roman Abramovich, naturally furious. Today I'm going to be citing an article from Football 365, taking you through that and giving you my opinions on what it has to say. So let's get started and crack on. Chelsea owner Roman Abramovich is reportedly furious at how the Super League saga played out. The Blues were among the 6 Premier League clubs to sign up for this breakaway competition on Sunday, before widespread criticism, brackets, and perhaps the offer of some UEFA cash, end brackets, led to all 6 withdrawing on Tuesday evening. Protests at Stamford Bridge ahead of the 0-0 draw with Brighton meant kickoff had to be delayed. Petr Cech stepped in to appeal to the angry masses. That's right, we all know the story. 1,500 Chelsea fans marched outside Stamford Bridge representing football in England, and in fact, I think it was, I haven't seen this yet, but I heard James Richardson talk about the headline of Gazzetta in Italy saying the English say football with a picture of the Chelsea fans outside Stamford Bridge. Apparently it's quite an iconic image that sort of resonated around Europe to other fans who also were not interested in the Super League. Let's read on. Chelsea are said to have decided to pull out of the competition ahead of the protest, but Abramovich is said to be unhappy at the club's decision to enter the competition and how the whole fiasco played out. The Russian owner has trusted chairman Bruce Buck's judgment that joining the Super League was in the club's best long-term interest, and now is furious as he felt blindsided by the fans' true feelings amid concerns for his reputation and legacy. Well, yes, there you go, Bruce Buck leading the charge for Chelsea Football Club. And what has he got in common with the other owners, the big owners that are really pushing for this project? He's American. No, this is not some xenophobic opinion or whatever, saying all Americans want to do this, but he was most likely coming from a sort of American sports background to be inclined to agree with that model. Roman Abramovich trusted not just Bruce Buck, but presumably others on his board to say, yeah, this is what's happening, and this is ultimately what the fans will want. Roman trusts people at Chelsea, and he's like, all right, if you're sure, great. I want my reputation to be intact. I want the fans to be happy. Of course, none of that happened, and before any clubs pulled out, it was leaked in the media. Roman Abramovich has given the all clear. He wants to pull out of the Super League first. He's done. He's seen enough. Let's stop this. Last in, first out. Now, I think there's an element of being at the station and getting on the train, not because you want to get on the train, but because you don't want to be left at the station. No excuse really. I, for one, am disappointed that he was not cerebral and lucid enough to see how this was an awful idea, especially if you don't need the money. If you don't need the money, then whatever. Anyway, the article goes on to talk about Chelsea's pretty sterile statement, comparatively to some other clubs who actually apologised, and the Chelsea Supporters Trust also commenting on this. It's likely they will want to move forward and build bridges, but some people have asked Bruce Buck to, stand down, to leave the Premier League committee and stuff like that. But it's a massive, massive crying shame, if you ask me. After all this good over the pandemic, Roman's work with the club in terms of its image, positive image, anti-discrimination, anti-racism, anti-hate, and also using his club as the face of good that he's proud of, Chelsea Football Club as a brand. He's not using it as a moneymaker. He's proud of what it wants to represent, and using his immense finances. No matter how rich you are, right? No matter how many billions you've got, you're not going to just find it fun throwing hundreds of millions at players and stuff while bailing out the club 2 or 3 years ago when we were down on the books. You don't just do that for fun. He wants Chelsea to win. I'm thoroughly disappointed with the whole fiasco. I hope Roman has learnt the most out of all the owners, never to approach such a project ever again. Never, consider it. I'm certain others will consider it. Certainly Barcelona and Real Madrid going on hard. They both said yes, it's still the only way forwards. I have a fear that certain owners in the Premier League will try and find a way for it structurally to be appealing, or as appealing as it can be. But hopefully, after a grand mistake of letting the wrong people make the wrong decision at Chelsea Football Club, Roman Abramovich will veto this and say, look, I can't have this again. We need to look good in English football. We need to represent English football well. We can't ever approach this ever again or allow it to happen. Hopefully. So anyway, apparently furious at the club, naive of him perhaps to let this decision go ahead and trust the people underneath him to think that it's what the fans want. Come on, he's a self-proclaimed football fan. How much of a football fan are you to not realise that's an awful idea? Anyway, I'm going to put it out to you guys. How do you feel about Chelsea's owner, Roman Abramovich, right now? He's gone from the best owner in football to one of the evil big six owners, which is a massive shame if you ask me. And I'm not trying to protect him. I think there's been a massive error here, and I certainly won't forgive it immediately. But I want to put it out to you guys, the football fans or Chelsea fans. You might be fans of other clubs. What do you think? Get down into the comment section below and express your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on this gargantuan whoopsie, and how do you think Chelsea go or move going forwards with the owner, and can it be quickly healed or will it be never forgotten? Comment down below if you've enjoyed the content today. Please do drop a like. Consider subscribing to this channel if you're new to the experience. Other than that, my friends, see you next time. Enjoy the football and I will see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby.